Hi everyone, Rotten Pieces here, and today we're going to do another coaching of the Silver 4 Warwick. If you would like to get coaching done or like my replays or want to get reviewed yourself, you can go on to summonerschool.reddit.com and then post in the mentoring thread or the replay review thread and post under my name. I can look you up and give me a replay you want me to review, I should say. So today we're going to do this Warwick. Here's all his information. It is TH4N4N, because silver players know how to name themselves. And first we're going to start out, like usual, we're going to do out-of-game stuff. Then we're going to talk about what you should look at in the loading screen. Then we're going to look at more of the in-game stuff. And the in-game stuff is going to be the bulk of the review. So starting right here, this is everything he's doing here. Masteries, left side, and then fervor of battle. And then 12 in resolve, attack speed 80, scaling armor, and magic resist. So let me pop that off the screen here. Minimize some of this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to build up his page. 80. We're going to do some scaling armor, and we're going to do some magic resist. And we're going to do some, attack speed. So, all in all, I do kind of like this page. The only issue is I don't like this. I don't like the scaling armor, although you do have regeneration in your kit, so you don't really need the flat armor for sustain. But having the flat armor early keeps you healthier in the jungle, and if you're healthier in the jungle, since you are such a weak jungler, your character, not actually you, but since Warwick is a weak jungler, when people invade you, it won't be so devastating. And I also want to change the flat MR to scaling MR, because that's something that you absolutely don't need in the jungle. So just flip your scaling there, and that should be better, just so you survive a little more tanky, and then you can survive in the jungle a little bit better over here. So going to build up your mastery pages here, and yes, left side, center, and then all over here. So this itself looks good. This resolve page, totally fine. Yep, because you don't want that. That doesn't matter for you. That doesn't matter for you. And that doesn't matter for you. Okay, so the things that I would actually change, though, I would change this right here. You don't really need this because you have sustain in your kit. And this will give you more of the 80, although it's not much, it is still worth something. And then the AP, I believe that increases your healing a little bit. But I'll double check that when we actually get into the game. And then you can do this. A lot of people like Oppressor, but in low elo, you're just going to like dumpster everyone, and you're going to kill at least 2 or 3 people. And if you do kill 3 people, you do get more damage off of it for all of your abilities, not just when they're CC'd. So you get 1% for every unique. So if you kill the top laner, kill the jungler, kill the mid laner, you have 3% increased damage, where this is 2.5 when they're CC'd. And then this is fine, and then that's fine. Another thing you might want to consider, if you do need a tank, do this. Strength of Ages. It's the very typical Rek'Sai, Elise, Gragas, all the other crap that people play in pro play. But since you're low elo and you just want to carry the game, you want to just murder everyone, this is fine. This is this highest win rate mastery page anyway. So let us, and please don't burn my computer as I launch the replay, run, and how does this look? I'm closing that. Am I burning? Burning a little bit. I'm burning. Help me. Team, where are you? Yeah, not burning anymore. All right, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Hurry up and load game. All right, so pause. So what we're looking at here is putting you in the right place, putting that in the right place, and that, and that. So this is pregame. What you want to look at is this stuff when you are in the loading screen and in champion select and all that kind of stuff. So your team consists of double AP, very strong mid to late game AD, and then a super support, can do a little bit of everything, versus a split pusher, whatever the fuck Skarner does. The most annoying mid in the game. Lucian, probably the best AD for solo queue in my opinion. And then Tom Kench, who will make your life pretty shitty. Tom Kench is probably your worst enemy in this game, because whoever you ulti, Tom Kench can just swallow up and then run the hell away, and then you're totally screwed because there's nothing you can do. And that's one reason why no one really picks Warwick, is because of him. Alistair, who are some good ones? Tarek, that kind of stuff. People play a lot of these stuff so he can interrupt you or save them from you, and then that kind of stuff. You also want to look at Tryndamere, because both Tryndamere and Lucian, and a little bit of Skarner, but not really, those two have a lot of AD and can be destroyed with a single item. So get that item, and I'll explain when that time comes. 2 different items, actually, you can get. So this is kind of just what you want to think about when you're loading into the game. You also want to look at, when you're coming into the game, hit tab and figure out, okay, why the fuck does he have Ignite and Teleport? In my opinion, that is pretty awful. Actually, let me put this on you, and let me do only your vision. And your Talia does that too, which I also think is awful. But we're not worried about them, and I don't know why Rumble has heal. This whole game is a cluster. I have no idea what's going on with these people. So let's just start about talking what you did first. Wait, is that yours? Whose pink is that? Oh, hold on. Who's pink? It is your pink. Don't buy a pink. Okay. I didn't notice that your first time around. Although in low elo, your pink will probably last forever. It's not really that great. Yeah, because one invade, if they just like walk over here and put their ward here, because I do this every game. If I'm on this side, I will just kind of walk in here and I'll just put my ward here, and if I see that, I'm just going to kill it. So I don't particularly like that ward. Well, I don't like pinks at all unless you're fiddlesticks. And then I don't like your placement. If I was going to place it, I would place it, since you're starting on this side, place it over here so you can see his invade coming, so at least when your ward dies, it has a purpose. I would also start on this side. So so if you're going to keep that ward here, start over here because you get low mana, and then you can get red buff and then gank a lane with it. Red is the best ganking tool you can get because you have a character with 0 CC. And with 0 CC, you need something to sustain yourself or to get a gank off better. And then your lanes, no CC, decent CC, well, a slow, a bunch of slows, and then a good CC, and then a really good ganking lane, because you can get a gank, you can get the hook, and you can get a lantern in. And one of Warwick's weaknesses is the gap closing issue, which Thresh can help you with. So if you get a hook, he can throw you a lantern, and then you're right in there, and you're right in people's face. All right, what number are you? You are number 1. I'm glad I learned how to do this. Okay, well, mistake number 1 comes very early in the game. I remember watching this and thinking, holy shit, just kill the red buff. So I don't think you know what red buff does. So you wait to smite it for the heal. But if you killed red, it gives you health regen, which I'll show you when that buff actually dies. And you just like let it sit there just like wailing on you, which is making you get more low in the jungle if you just killed it. So, yep. So red buff, come right over here. This unit recovers health when not fighting champions or epic monsters. So just kill the red. You get the sustain from it anyway, so you don't really need to make it live like that. All right, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Nothing really happens. Nothing you can really do. You're farming. I don't like the path you're doing, but, I mean, if you're trying to get 6 as quick as possible, what you're doing is fine. What I would do for Warwick is I would do camp, buff, and then go gank a lane. Doing the route I told you before, do the Gromp, blue, red, and then come into the bottom lane. Ooh, good kill. I do think that smite is way too early. And where's your trinket? Yep, and you do need to use your trinket. Skarner is kind of a weak jungle himself, but it's kind of just a good practice, especially with a Warwick. It's like, put your trinket over here, put it over here, put it down over here, something like that. Because if you ever fight Lee Sin, Nidalee, Rek'Sai, all that stuff, you will get dominated. That's like utterly destroyed because Warwick is pretty weak early. Well, before he gets both of his buffs, because once he gets both of his buffs, he's gonna sustain you're gonna sustain yourself anyway. Yep. Getting a little bit of control, that's fine. I would do though. I would kind of forsake this crab, and I would get right in. I would get right up in there. So let's jump back 15 seconds. Yep. So you're even doing a camp. I would probably switch camps. Do you get level 4 off this? Yes, you do. So I would probably switch camps. I'd probably do the scuttle instead, and then come right into here. But what you need to look at is he is so pushed. So you can either get all this experience or get him very low, and he needs a piece out, and he's not going to be able to get the tower. And also, you need to be moving faster. Like, forget that. Once you see Skarner come through here on your ward or come over here, you need to drop what doesn't matter what you're doing, but since you're standing right next to him, right next to the gank, you need to get in. You're coming now. You're a little bit late. Oh, and there's the death. Now, also look. You have both of your buffs. Skarner. Oh, his buff ran out. Oh, never mind what I was about to say. Carry on. I was going to say, notice how he has one buff. Isn't that weird? But never mind. His buff ran out. I forgot Skarner actually clears faster than you. You can kind of time where the other jungler is based on where you are, but since Skarner can actually AoE down camps, what you're doing is kind of very slow. All right, how much gold do you have? Almost 12,000. Or 1,200, rather. Right at this point, too, I would kill this. And what a lot of people do for slow clearing junglers like Rek'Sai, like... who else does this? The one that I can remember more than any is Rek'Sai, but since his clears is so slow, get a oh my god, why am I blanking on this? Tiamat, that's what it is. So you can actually AoE down camps faster. Really, as Warwick, what you should do is basically you're focused on this camp, you're focused on this camp because it's so good, and then this camp. And this camp here and this camp up here are just very, very, very easy to kill for you. And you should just basically be hitting that camp, scuttle, gank, scuttle, camp, gank, more or less. Once you hit 6, that becomes a lot easier, but yeah. I think you do this, but right when you see Skarner, as a general jungle tip for anybody who is watching, you don't do this. You do a little late. So what I would do is, since you see Skarner down here, I would immediately come up here. You can see his camp's gone because of spectator, but I would be like be right in there, getting that camp, walk up here, get that camp. You still see Skarner. Granted, he killed your mid laner, so fuck him, especially since he's dancing. and still didn't kill that ward. He walked by it like 4 times. Get in there, kill his camps. You're actually in a good spot to screw with him, but... Alright, let's see. Yep, so you have 2 good options. Kill his camps, especially since you know where he is. And if I was him, I would get this. Because mid laner died, AD carry died. He's in a good position to get that. So what I would be worried if I were you is kind of the dragon buff, and it's a very good buff, so you need to make the most out of it right now. What do? You use your ward. Oh, let's remember what I was going to say. When you're doing this camp, too, especially since you don't know where he is, I would put your ward over here as you're doing the camp. That's mainly so you can see him come in, and you want to know where... Wow, that was bad. Where he comes in, so you know if he tries to kill you, if he wants to get on top of... Like, if you're doing the camp, he can just sit here and wait until you're almost done and then just smite it away from you. Stuff like that. What you do here is very good, I have to say. You just see Skarner sitting top, and you take advantage of it. You go into the jungle and you get the red buff. A+, good for you. That is like the best move you have done in this entire game, I have to say. Yeah, honestly. Like, right here, I'd be nervous because Skarner left. But he does come back, so... Yeah, right there. So, I don't like your smite because you smited too early again. You want to make sure to smite to secure the whole camp. Especially since he disappeared off the map and you don't know where he is. Because especially, you're doing the red buff and he's in the top lane. So if he disappeared off the map, he's coming right to the buff. Because that's what you do when you're a jungler. You want to get the buff and gank. Excuse me. Right here as well, just go for the... Pause. Right here, if you go up here, you'll die. I see you kind of come down here, and then you kind of walk over here, and then you go up and try to defend it with Rumble. If Skarner, who has his ulti, just grabs you and pulls you away, you're boned. Because Skarner will CC you, and then Tryndamere has the damage. So what I would do is honestly just give the blue buff to your mid laner and just keep power farming. Yep, so you just walked up, you did a Q, and you didn't really accomplish anything. So you just kind of wasted time. You could have cleared 2 camps in the time that you just walked up. Well, probably 1.5 because you're Warwick. 1.5 of the camps, and then you could have saved your Q and kind of power farmed and be slightly ahead of the Skarner and farm. What you need to do right now is kind of look for your opening, and you need to ult people. That was a good combo by her, at least. Yep. Right here, kind of, after you take a buff, you want to kind of look at the state of the game. See kind of what's happening. Take a look at your lanes, hit tab, check everyone's items, kind of see what's happening. Because right here, a better path, other than just taking these here, I would go right into the red buff. I would do this because 2 reasons. They're coming back to lane, so by the time you get the buff, you'll be able to perfect spot when they reach the tower, or a little bit after they reach the tower. And these guys are pushed, and half-life, and you have your ulti, and you can just kill them. Done and done and done and done. So you're just a little bit too slow on being where you need to be on the map, which is kind of the whole point of being a jungler. That is obviously the hardest part. Just kind of knowing where, focus on you, knowing where to be and, you know, when to be there and that kind of stuff. Okay, and you are running down now. This is a good move because I would rather you do your red buff, but since you did that camp first, this is your better course of action. Because you needed to be there on time rather than be there optimally. The most optimal situation is you come with your red buff, but this is good enough. Alright, focus on you again. Yep, screw him. Yeah, let's keep running. He ain't doing nothing to you. Yeah. Oh. Wow, that was a bad cue. You should have died. Yeah, so that kind of situation, since your mid laner wasn't around you, I would have left. Your mid did kill the jungler, but I would still have probably left, ran over to your red buff, and smited your red, because that would have given you health back. Let's take a look at your game. 020 002, that's you. 240 321 and 1 2 and 3. So right now your bot lane is doing kind of the best. Talia is doing fine. Rumble's doing very bad. Good thing about Rumble is he doesn't need to do good, so he's fine. He basically needs to drop his ult and he's fucking done. So right here, red buff's still not taken. I'm just gonna pause. I'm just gonna kind of, because I haven't been keeping track. Where is he? Okay, Ziggs is over here. He's hiding for whatever reason. Skarner's buff's coming up. Okay. So just make sure you secure your buff. From here, I would probably give the buffs to Twitch, but he doesn't have the items, so I'm kind of conflicted about telling you that. So I guess in low elo I would keep the buff, but you need to get the buff. At this stage, kind of as you get higher up in elo, you would understand that okay, the enemy jungler is getting his blue buff. After he gets his blue buff, Tom Kench is walking over there right now and checking to see if your red buff's up, so he could be coming. In fact, there he is. And there's the 80 carry. So kind of just take more control of the jungle is kind of what I'm seeing in this game. Yep, and good ulti. Now, one thing you also need to do is do that on cooldown. That's one thing you've just kind of been holding your ult for, 30 seconds here, a minute here, that kind of thing. So if you used it more on cooldown, you could get 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 more in, and you'd have that many more, at least assists for your team. You think 30 seconds every time, you do it, you wait 30 seconds every time, that kind of thing. Now, he has a buff. He has the dragon buff. And I think you just kill him here. I don't remember. But, yeah, that's the power of Warwick. Your autos just blast through people. Oh, and I was going to check. Yeah, that's whatever. They overextended your whole teams there. Good job for grouping. Group up, everyone. Where is it? Yep, Q. No. Yeah, so Q. So the mastery, that's what I was going to check. That mastery is good because it helps your healing on your Q. Your healing and your damage. So right here, here's one of the times that the game is kind of resetting. You just got to kill. Everyone's walking back to lane. Thresh is low. These two are probably going to come over here and try to kill him. You don't need to be there because you don't have your ulti. What should happen right now, though? These are what you should do is when you're watching your own games, hit pause, look at the map. Dead. Don't know where the other guys are. One's here, one's here. So the bottom lane's probably going to run bot. Well, he's here, so the jungler's probably coming down here. The support's probably coming down here, defending this tower. This tower has a giant minion wave. Go get all the minions. Actually, where are they? They're going down mid. So the minions are built up. That's an easy tower push for you. what I would do is the really only time you should really communicate to your team is to be like, do this, go this way, follow me, and tell them, hey, let's go to the bot lane, look at all the minions, and get the gold. It's not going to be first tower gold, obviously, but get the damn gold. It's still worth it. You have 0 towers. They have 3 towers. They're only slightly ahead of you in team gold, but we can even hit. I'm just going to check up on everything. Tryndamere is super far ahead. You are even, more or less, with Skarner, and you can just kill him, because we've seen that before already. Mid is down a little bit. 80 carry is up. It's good. I'm not sure how he's up. Those assists are counting for 200 gold, so that's probably why. And then your supports are meh. Your support's just playing better. So right now, honestly, bottom should be your best bet. Yeah, he can try all the crap he wants, but right now, honestly, what you're doing is you're kind of against the clock on him. It's because he needs some effort to kill, especially by Rumble. So you need to accelerate the game past him. You need to get this Twitch able to walk right up to him and just kill him. And then it's an immediate 5 versus 3. Because Tryndamere will always be split pushing. And then you can do the fight like this. Do the fight and then go deal with Tryndamere. So this was bad on your team. But also think of it, you should have said something more than anything else. So it's that kind of thing. Cute. So next time, it's like, tell your team, let's go bottom lane, let's get the free gold. And you wouldn't have been in that situation anyway. If none of you guys were here, they would have just pushed up, and they would have gotten over here, and then Tryndamere was coming bottom, so you would have gotten the tower and ran. They would have came over here, your entire group would go mid, and then kind of defend the whole thing. Okay, so I'm going to pause again. This is where I don't like where your item builds are going. Because if we look at who's fed, it is Tryndamere, it is Skarner, and it is Lucian. So this Wit's End that has magic resistance is pretty shitty right now. The thing that I would get now, instead of this, would be your boots upgrade. Get that to the Merc Treads for Skarner, and then for not really for Tahm Kench. It's mostly for Skarner because you don't want to be suppressed for very long. So do that. You eventually do get those boots, which is good. Your other options would be the Swifties, boots of swiftness, because they have a lot of slows with Skarner and Ziggs. Eventually, I think he gets a Rylai's, and then Tahm Kench slows, and then Tryndamere slows. So that would have been your second one. But here's where I would be diverting into, you need to deal with Lucian, and you need to deal with Skarner, and you need to deal with Tryndamere. And if you can look here, they're all above 6k gold, Lucian just barely. But Ziggs doesn't have any gold. He doesn't matter right now. So this MR is like, yeah, that's great. But basically what you're fighting against is 3 AD that's fed, and you're building MR. So if you're building MR, your option is to kill the other 3 AD, and then the magic damage person can't kill you. But it would be better if you, as a Warwick, who can just ulti onto Ziggs, build armor and then kill Ziggs. And therefore, you don't need any MR because the magic damage person is dead. That's a very hopeful situation, but that's kind of what you need to think about with item builds. Wit's End is not a bad item, and is not a bad item on your champion. It's just, do you need it right now? You eventually get... damn, the one that gives you move speed, the armor one, that's good. You get... my god, I don't know why I'm blanking on items, but the Sunfire Cape, that's not that great. But what I would think about getting right now is either or both of, as you go for this kill, and he eats the wrong person. It was the only reason why you got that. So don't chase kills because you're pretty bloodthirsty too. Because goddamn, that was not good. I would think about getting right now was the Randuin's Omen. Words are hard today. Holy crap. Randuin's Omen or Frozen Heart. You want both of those because Tryndamere crits and it reduces his crit damage. And you want the Frozen Heart because it reduces his attack speed. So both of those are good. The attack speed one is less okay for Lucian because it doesn't slow down his double shot, his passive. But it just generally lowers his damage because you get 100 armor and you're slowing his attack speed, which does help, but it's not as impactful as, say, Tristana or Jinx or Vayne or something like that. You know what I mean? Because he's not auto attack reliance, he's spell reliance, but he still auto attacks. So what you're getting it for is Skarner, kind of. He needs the Randuin's Omen because you can slow him. Frozen Heart for Tryndamere because he's, you get Frozen Heart and he's done. And then you want just armor in general for those three champions. Armor and health. This is good. You need to turn the Baron, the Rift, whatever that, Rift Herald. Yeah, just like that. Always do this just so you can pop the eye. As Warwick, you could probably just sit here and tank the whole damn thing, but it's pretty pointless. And then I would give it to Twitch here. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay, so Dragon's coming up. Baron is coming up. You don't have... Oh, you know what? You don't have a lot of wards, do you? That. I'm going to check your ward count. I'm going to put this on pause. I'm going to go 1. Whose is it? It is Thresh. Good for you, Thresh. Number 2, Thresh. Good for you, Thresh. 3, Talia. Good for you, Talia. Where are your wards? You have no wards. Yeah, because there's nothing up here. So I'm actually going to go back 15 seconds. Sorry, this is going to be a little annoying. So 1943. Where are your wards? Okay, there's a ward here. Whose is it? Hey, Thresh again. Any other wards? Any other wards? Did we already count that one? That's Talia's. Okay, that's Talia's again. Thresh again. Talia. Yeah, you're not using your wards. I'm just noticing this now. That's bad of me. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up to 1950. Fuck it. You get a kill. You get a bunch of kills. All right, play. So you need to use your trinket more, or you need to get rid of your trinket. So what I would honestly do is I'd get a sweeper, mainly because you're the jungler, and you need to get the wards out. Oh, and this is one spot that I absolutely hated that you did. But you need to get the wards out. Granted, there's not going to be a ton of wards in low elo, but that being said, you don't know. Plus, there's that ward that dropped down now, so you could kill it. And we're going to do a little pop quiz, team. What's your damage on your smite? 680. Can you or can you not smite right at this second? I'm just going to do a little brief pause. Dear YouTube, can Warwick smite right this second and secure this dragon? The answer is yes, he can. What is the only CC that will stop someone from smiting? The answer is suppression. So the only thing that could have possibly have given up that dragon that should have happened was Skarner coming in and giving you an ulti. The only thing that can stop any smite at all is suppression. The only people that have suppression is Warwick, Malzahar, and Skarner. And there's probably a fourth one that I don't remember, but that's the only people who can stop you from smiting. And then you, who has a suppression, can jump on Skarner when he's taking any objective, and he cannot smite, and you will always outsmite him. That's also something to kind of keep in the back of your head as a jungler. I'm still surprised he lived off that. So right now, you are 7,000 down, almost 8,000. Right now, you need to do some drastic shit to win this game. You do some good picks, because from here, I think you get like 15 kills. So you're killing people. That's not the issue. The issue is after you're getting kills, you're not doing shit with them. So it's like, well, that's great and all. Not taking any towers. You aren't getting objectives because you lost another dragon. Although the first one, I don't even remember when they got the mountain dragon that came up first. And actually, what's coming up next? Inferno? Yeah. Your team, since you're all damaged, need that Infernal so bad. So, what are they doing? Also, one thing, I would kind of command your team a little bit better. What you should be telling them is to defend. This split push is fine. Everyone says like, no, you should group up. No, you should like cause pressure. Your Twitch is the only one who's actually doing well besides you. Yep. You're doing the best, then Twitch, then Talia, then Rumble, then blah, 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 blah. But the biggest threat is still Tryndamere, and Skarner has the most gold, but you can kill him. I still think you can just straight up kill him in a 1v1. And then Lucian, and then Ziggs is coming up very slowly, but it's like there's nothing he can do to you. You can ult him, and then he can pop you off, but with his satchel charge. But I mean, you can just like walk in and just kill him anytime you want. Yep, and that's good. You ulted the wrong person there, but it's good that you just straight up ignored him and you ran right to the fight. You like got like right in there. If I were you, I would have saved it for Lucian. I'm actually gonna pop this back. Where are you? Yep. All right, pop this back a little bit more. So you see Skarner coming over here. At this point, like you need to be like flipping running. Where's Lucian? Yep, he's coming over here. So when you run in, I would get Lucian, who you see his calling come out over here. I wouldn't ult him. I would just Q him and then just like run right past him, run into this bush. And if you see Lucian, get him. But then since he came down this way, I would have probably just ulted Ziggs, and then that would have been another person out of the fight, you know? Get him. Get him. Get him, killer. Turn around. You get both, but turn around. Because Lucian could just turn around and kill Talia, and that would be very bad. Okay, state of the game. Everyone's dead. What are you doing? Nothing? Sitting? Not pushing mid? Not dealing with Tryndamere? Red buff's up. Enemy red's up. Mid and top tower's up. There's a lot of gold just like sitting that you could get, and a lot of advantages you could get. But you're kind of just kind of sitting. You have 13 kills. Just go walk in and just kill someone. Not Tryndamere, because he can just ult and then, you know, sad time. But, you know, do something. You could probably fight Trinity. Honestly, because you have the red smite, you can just fight him, and then when he gets half, like, ult. And then if you ult him, he can't use his ult. Hey, what are you doing right now? There we go. How many people are dead? The strongest person on their team is dead. Stop attacking the support. All right. So to go back, everything you did is fine up until this point. Yep, fine. Doesn't really matter. I say that Ziggs doesn't matter. This entire game, Ziggs doesn't matter. Except he does more damage than Tahm Kench. So fuck him. Kill Ziggs. If you kill Ziggs right here, you would live. Because you're just like hauling. And Ziggs is just throwing bombs at you. So I obviously don't know for sure. This is a bad call. Whoever's calling this right now, I'm going to turn on. All right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Nope. Where is it? Where is it? Who the fuck is pinging? Because that person's an idiot. Please don't say it's you, by the way. If it's you, I'm actually going to be sad. Who does the assist me ping? God damn it. Who does the assist ping? This is an absolute terrible call. This probably solidifies you losing. God. It doesn't show. Why doesn't it show? I'm so upset. This is a terrible call. This is a terrible call because Skarner can just come in and smite it. I mean, this would be fine if, like, right now you see him. Someone dropped a ward. He's the only one alive. He is there. He's 100% there. And here he comes. What are you going to do about it? Thresh pulls him closer. Oh, and then you lose the Baron. So, that was bad. Not kind of bad. A little bad. Probably lost you the game bad. So, one thing, especially since he is up, and granted, you don't expect just one person to walk in, 1v4 and just do that. But I would honestly take control a little bit better and just be like, don't do that. I'm dead. I'm the jungler. No smite. Go mid. There's standing gold right there. It's pretty easy to kill. And if we can just walk over to it, we have 2,600. So you could have gotten that one. That one's a little bit more healthy, but, there's stuff that you could have gotten. You also still not using your ward, so you don't know if this is going down. But you do see him. Right at this point, nope, this is bad. That's bad. You see him, you know this is going down, get over here. Instruct your entire team to walk over there. Because Lucian's coming in the mid lane now. So, there's Tahm Kench. So I know I'm a little scattered in these videos, but I'm going to recap at the end. So if you ever get lost and I'm just kind of saying a whole bunch of stuff, we will come back to it. Really should prepare statements. That would be a little bit more focused, but okay, we are going to speed up because the next 10 minutes you just bleed out. There's one situation I think that you do very well, but this is meh. Your entire team is dying. Well, I mean, one person died. So you trade 1-for-1 for the top laner, which is good because it saves you a little bit of time. But if you were to group with your team, you could have probably killed a lot more of them. Like this. You just ignore Skarner. He's behind you, killing people. Yep, and it's a slow bleed from here. What you're doing is great right now, though. You're pushing mid, you want to get some of that stuff. Lucian's here, fuck Lucian. You can ulti and kill him. Right now, you can. If you ever see him, I would just, like, pop him. And he did pop out. I saw him on the map, even though we're going double speed. Ziggs, both of them mid. What you gonna do about it? Gonna farm bot lane. Take it from your AD carry. I'm actually gonna slow down. I'm gonna check your guys' gold. Yeah. You guys are very close. You kind of greeted for that farm there. I would have given it to Twitch. That's very good, though. At this point in the game, I've been saying Ziggs is pretty useless all game, but this point of the game, killing either Ziggs or Lucian is very, very good. Go for Ziggs. Stop going for the support. Yep, so now here's the game that you're playing now. You have Tryndamere doing some nasty to your base. You can't fight him 1v1 because his ulti just kind of bum rushes you. And he kind of just split pushes you to death. And really the only way you can kill him is to do what I suggested before. Get the Randuin's Omen, just kind of out-tank him, because you can out-tank him and out-survive him very, very easily. The reason he's doing so much damage is because he is crit and lifesteal and attack speed. And then he has this Last Whisper, which is meh. If you got the items that I told you, the Randuin's Omen and the other thing, he slows attack speed, so he doesn't cut through as much of your armor because he doesn't get as many attacks in. One thing you're missing from your build too is you're missing the Blade of the Rune King. I would get that slightly later, but you still want it. At the point of the game that I told you to get Randuin's, which was your second item, that would have been your best bet. But then I would have gotten the... where are you? There you are. I would have gotten... After Randuin's, I would have gotten Blade of the Rune King. And then from there, I don't think Tryndamere could have done nothing to you. You could have just, like, walked at him and out-sustained him. And then that's it. Like, there's nothing you could do. Or nothing he could do. So I'd probably switch those items. And I would also switch... So I would trade your Wit's End for Randuin's. I would trade... what item did you get next? I think you got the... Yeah, this one that I couldn't remember. Dead Man's Plate. I would put the Bork there, Blade of the Rune King, then get Dead Man's Plate, then get... depending on how the game went, I would probably get Frozen Heart. That way you had just your armor items built up, and then if you ever needed to deal with Tryndamere, you could just, you know, do your stuff to him. Just walk over there, defeat his split push. The thing that hurts split pushers are tanks. If you ever come into a split push game against Jax, against Riven, against Tryndamere, any of that stuff, playing a tank, which you are, your Warwick, defeats that. Granted, you should have a tank in your top lane, but... Just kind of as a general rule of thumb, building tanky for the split pusher prevents the split push. And your whole team doesn't need to go back to defend. One person's enough. Baron's gone here, I think. Because I just saw Tryndamere walk over there. Yeah, there he is. Alright, I'm going to speed up. We're doing a slow bleed out one more time. That wall was awful. That wall hurt more than helped. Good kill. Was this the fight? I think this was the fight that I said this was a good job. You're still attacking that stupid support. And then you overchase. So you're also kind of... you have this thing for Tahm Kench. Alright, so as this is wrapping down, I'm not really going to commentate on the game. That was a good fight, but stop going for Tahm Kench. Goddamn. That support is not worth it. Okay, so going to recap some of the game. You kind of switch your runes around. If you had the scaling MR runes that I suggested, then you wouldn't need the Wit's End. Although it gives attack speed, it gives you some good stuff, increases your damage, all that good stuff. Don't really need it because Blade of the Rune King would have been better because you take, I think it still gives you the target's bonus health. Yeah. Basic attacks deal 6% of the target's current health and bonus physical damage. And since they have 2 tanks, and then you can just slow down Tryndamere and kind of out-sustain him. Or, yeah, more sustain because you have sustain on your passive. You know, this would all kind of turn into it. So fix your item build. Get rid of your Wit's End. I would do Devour like you did. Blade of the Rune King second if you are ahead. If you get a couple early kills, just go for damage. Just keep killing people. And then if you get early kills, do that. If you get some early ganks off, do that. If you don't, if you just kind of like power farm, get the Randuin's Omen second. That kind of gives you the tankiness to deal with people. Kind of, if you want to do the recurve bow, get more attack speed, that way you can get more autos off and kind of shred people with your passive, do that. But you want your second full item to be Randuin's Omen. Kind of go that way, be more tanky, because if you had Randuin's Omen, Tryndamere wouldn't be such of a problem this game. So Devour, Randuin's, Blade of the Rune King, or Devour, Blade of the Rune King, Randuin's, depending on if you're ahead or behind. Deadman Plate, great item. And then if Ziggs starts getting big, which he never really was big in this game, if Ziggs gets big, do the Spirit's Visage, but I would get Frozen Heart. That way, you ever see Tryndamere, walk up and you can out-sustain him and it doesn't really matter. From there, kind of just be more focused on the map. You're letting big objectives, Mountain Drake went by. You got, what was it, the Ocean Drake? Not really a big deal because that Drake sucks, but, you know, still want it. Don't want to give it to the enemy team that makes them stronger. So you kind of missed your smite there. You let an Infernal Drake go by. If you got the Infernal Drake and they didn't, your whole team is damaged. So you would have just butt fucked them. You'd have just like dumpstered everyone. So kind of be a little bit more focused. Come in with a plan. Control the objectives. Control the towers. Control your team better. Like tell your team, hey, don't do Baron and get its smite stolen by Skarner. Go mid. Take the free towers there. Go mid. Since Skarner's defending mid, go mid, take the tower, push Skarner back, take the other tower, and then leave. You got, 2 free towers. That's 2,000 gold, whatever it is. So there's free gold just kind of standing there. And instead of doing that, you recall or you do a camp or, you just do this other stuff that's not really needed. Yeah, other than that, I mean, it's mostly good. Just kind of control the game a little bit better. You get the kills. You don't die a lot. It's just you're not focused. You don't know where to be and when to be there kind of thing. I mean, you can even do this item build that you're doing and then, never change it and it's fine. But it's like if you did a little bit more focused on, okay, the Mountain Drake is the second best Drake in the game. Get it. Infernal Drake is up. That is the best solo queue dragon ever. Get it. Skarner showed top lane. Get the useless Ocean Drake or the useless Wind Drake or whatever. Kind of if you see the enemy jungler somewhere else, go attack the other side of the map, you know. Yeah. Overall, you did, honestly, you did fairly good. It's just they got a lot of other gold because Tryndamere kind of just screwed you, and he just kept getting the towers and kept getting the towers and kept getting the towers, and that getting the towers saved Ziggs and then brought Ziggs back into relevance kind of thing. So, yeah, focus on getting your team ahead. You do good individually. Get the towers. Stop recalling. Stop, you know, the entire enemy team is dead, or all of the damage dealers are dead, and so the Skarner and the support is alive. What are they going to do to you? Yeah, you have, you know, an eighth of your health bar. They're not going to do anything to you. Go get the tower. Go do something. Don't just sit around kind of just like waiting for the gold to come in. You, as the jungler especially, the jungler and the mid laner need to do everything. It kind of like sucks to say, but like wherever you are, that's where the action's happening. Wherever the mid lane is, that's where people are dying. You know what I mean? So you just need to be more in control. So that being said, I'm just going to end the video. It's already getting fairly long. Yeah, I'm reaching an hour. Whew. On a 38-minute game. Damn. So be more focused. I'll kind of just end it there. If you ever need more advice, kind of just PM me on Reddit. I'm saying that for the person I'm coaching, not all of you people. So if you need more advice, just PM me on Reddit. Everyone else kind of, if you have more questions, you can post in the YouTube comments. I'll be here with the mentoring threads. Just go, I advertise all that stuff at the beginning. So go there, kind of ask questions, you know, and I will simply be around. So that'll be it. Thanks for watching. My name is Rotten Pieces, and I hope this video helped someone, anybody at all. So again, YouTube channel would be linked. Yep, linked. And then I'll see you guys around.